If you've watched some of my other videos, then you'll know both the Razer Blackshark V2 and the Steelseries Arctis 7s are one of my personal favorite gaming headsets in terms of both quality and value. The Blackshark is a little cheaper at $99, while the Arctis 7s are $125. And of course, both headsets have more premium versions, so the Blackshark has the Blackshark V2 Pro and the Arctis 7s has the Arctis Pro, which are a tiny bit more expensive. But anyway, let's take a look. So firstly, looking at the Blackshark V2, all I can say is wow, because it is a very sleek headset with the subtle green accents blended nicely in with the matte black body. It kinda gives me Pilot vibes because of the metal prongs it has on either side of the cups that connect to the headband. Those prongs also serve a function as well, since they do let the cup swivel nicely and just fit a little better overall. Now, unlike the V2X, which is the cheaper model, the standard V2 has a detachable mic and a sound card. So there are a lot more options when it comes to audio and how you can tinker with it, which is super nice. Speaking in regard to the buttons on either side of the cups, well, it's pretty basic since the V2s only offer a chunky volume button and a mute button, but I think I prefer that in all honesty, because it means you never find yourself scrambling for the right button when you're in a tense in-game moment. Then there's the Arctis 7s by Steelseries, which are wireless to begin with, so that's a plus. When it comes to the aesthetic, I suppose it takes a much more simplistic look, which of course can be either white or black, with a variation of green or blue accents depending on which platform you're buying for. Yes, the headsets do vary depending on compatibility, so that means you'd either get the 7X or the 7P. So that's why there's two colors. Unlike the Blackshark V2s, the Arctis 7s have a lot more buttons on either side of the cups. These buttons include a mic mute button, volume slider, chat mix dial, and a power button, as well as a bunch of cable jacks for the wireless connectivity functions. The mic is not detachable, unfortunately, but it does fully retract right the way into the headset, so at least there's no chance you'll lose it, as it is wireless. There are a bunch of other accessories that come with a headset, most notably a charging cable and a USB wireless transmitter that you just plug into your console or PC. Oh, and they'll last a long time as well, since they have a battery life of 24 hours. So that's at least 4 gaming sessions on just one charge. Build quality-wise, the Arctis 7s are pretty good. They are made mostly of plastic, but rest assured, it's a very rugged and durable plastic, and has plenty of flex to it. And similar to the V2s, this headset has a swiveling function that allows the cups to fit your ear really nicely. Except with the Arctis 7s, it's definitely better, since there's more swivel directions, so it can rotate both vertically and horizontally, whereas the V2s can only swivel horizontally. However, the V2s do seem to have a more durable design, at least from my initial perception, because the cups are supported by 2 solid metal prongs, and the headband padding is a fully arched foam wrap that goes right the way round the top, whereas the Steelseries uses a single band instead. That has its benefits, but it's easier to break understandably. The V2s also make use of a lot more metal, though the headset is mostly plastic, much like the Arctis 7s, so I can hardly complain there. Razer went with an oval-shaped ear cup style, which I have to say is super nice, because even if your ears are big, it'll still fit right the way over them and keep you feeling snug. And they definitely have decent clamping force, even for small heads. But if your head is big, that's fine too, because the memory foam padding is extremely generous on either side of the cups and the headband. Also, one of my biggest pet peeves with headphones is when they use leather or leatherette, because it makes your ears so sweaty. But with a V2, you get a fabric of some sort. I'm not too sure what it is, but it's very breathable, and I never had any sweat issues with it, thankfully. The only annoyance with comfort is that the prongs don't allow for much swivel room, so it can be a little tedious to fit properly. And that's something the Arctis 7s excel in, because the swivel range is really nice, so it's super easy to adjust and fit no matter the size of your head. There's not much to say in regards to the cups, because they are just really comfy. Not as good as the V2s, but they are still better than 99% of other headsets. The addition of the stretchy band as headband padding is super nice as well, because it makes the headset feel really light and fluid. So if I had to pick which headset was better in regards to comfort, it would go to the Blackshark V2s. But comfort is subjective to your head size, amongst other things. However, the Steelseries Arctis 7s definitely took the cake when it comes to functionality. Now on to the most important part, the sound quality. Firstly, the Blackshark V2s were remarkable across the board with a very balanced soundstage and gorgeous, rich audio. A hugely appealing factor for me and just about anyone with ears is the addition of THX spatial audio. This is great because THX is a master when it comes to audio, because they have worked on so many great movies to make them sound just phenomenal. The V2s have that implemented within the headset in 3 different modes that change depending on what you're doing: game mode, movie mode, and music mode. For game mode, it gives surround sound a whole new meaning, because it actually creates a kind of set to make you feel like everything is happening around you. The irritating thing is that not all games do support THX spatial audio, which is a letdown. But aside from that, it is really great. The Steelseries Arctis 7s, on the other hand, don't have THX spatial audio, but they do have 7.1 surround sound, which is way more universally supported, but obviously doesn't sound as good. Having said that though, the surround sound is really good and does a more than exceptional job at emphasizing critical gameplay sounds like footsteps, while also balancing the distant sound of explosions. The general sound quality is also excellent, as everything is balanced perfectly with punchy bass and present highs. And even if the standard sound setup isn't to your taste, you can easily adjust it entirely with the Steelseries Engine 3 software. Oh, and I should note that the V2s can also be customized using the Razer Synapse software, so for audio quality, both are really great. But the Steelseries Arctis 7s are definitely more universally usable, since 7.1 surround has far more support across all platforms, whereas THX does not. But the Blackshark V2s do definitely have better overall audio quality when THX audio does come into play. But again, that isn't always going to be fully supported. I'm only going to briefly touch on mic quality since there's not much to say. I think anyone would seriously struggle to notice any difference between the 2 mics, because they sound virtually the same. They're both boom mics, so they automatically cancel out all background noise and hone in on your voice. But I'd say the Arctis 7s are very ever so slightly more clear, but only if you listen in. Either way, both mics are exceptionally good, and by far some of the best headset mics I have ever heard. So what's the verdict after all of that? Well, it's an incredibly close matchup, with each headset playing to certain strengths. The Arctis 7s have better customization options for the headset audio and mic, as well as better controls. They also have the advantage of being fully wireless. And then there's the case of audio quality, which I'll give to the Blackshark V2s, because the Arctis 7s do have 7.1 surround sound, and that's great for all platforms, thanks to its universal connectivity, but it just isn't as good as the V2's THX audio. The V2s also have better comfort in my personal opinion, and a cooler looking design. Although it isn't as functional as the Steelseries 7s because of limitations with the swiveling cups and lack of controls. But overall, I'd have to give it to the Blackshark V2s. And that's because while they aren't any better than the Arctis 7s, they are about $25 cheaper. Anyway, what did you think? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to like and subscribe.